They're obsessed. The Tin Man is obsessed. Hello, angels. Welcome back to the Cosmic Tailor. If you're new here, don't worry. I am Taylor, here to tailor you to your highest timeline. And there's like some whack-ass karmic energy that has been floating around you for like, I'm hearing months, could be weeks, could be years for some of you. Jesus Christ, years? Holy shit. Cleanse that energy. Make sure that you're protecting yourself. Make sure you're doing what you need to do to make sure that your protection is on point. It's because they're out of opportunity. It's because they're out of opportunity. They're out of empowerment. They don't know how to empower themselves. Fucking Christ. I feel like I just did this reading. Knight of Pentacles. Because you've moved on. You moved on. The funny thing is, it's like, oh my god. Okay, so we all know that like everything is cyclical in nature, right? Everything is cyclical in nature. Like there's the precipitation cycle, the cycle of a butterfly, the cycle of a frog, right? Even the cycle of a human, right? Everything works cyclically. Like at one point when you first start, you don't know how to talk, you can't move very well, and you're like crapping yourself in a diaper. At the end of your life, you might not know how to talk, you might not be able to move very well, and you might be crapping yourself in diapers. It's cycles. It's just how it goes. You know, which is why I feel like if you're going to honor the elderly, you need to honor the child just as much. But that's an entire other conversation. That's an entire other topic. What's up with this spirit? Tell me more. Tell me more. Yeah. They're looking to get away from accountability by offering you a new contract. I want to talk about something new though, Spirit. Can we talk about something new? Please? Because they can see that you're on your fulfillment era. Ooh, because they can see that you alchemized your fulfillment era into your reality. Interesting. You're not grieving them like that anymore. You're not holding on to them like that anymore. 8 of Swords in the reverse. Like, you're not blind to them anymore. And you're being honest with yourself, being frank with yourself about them. You're no more rose-colored glasses for these people. Yeah. Queen of Swords in the reverse. No more throwing out your discernment just for the sake of pleasing these people. You're creating your own opportunities. You're planting your own seeds. Interesting. Let's talk about that. Might feel really out of balance right now. You might feel really unbalanced right now, which is like totally fair with the state of everything, with the state of like the energy that's surrounding you, the people that might be surrounding you. It might be really hard for you to see things super clearly at the moment, but like you're not supposed to be seeing things clearly. You're supposed to be resting right now. That's what Spirit is saying, right? 4 of Swords, 2 of Swords in the reverse, the moon, the tower in reverse, and the sun. This isn't supposed to be like a big tower. That's the thing. The star card and the tower card are the same in the sense that no matter which direction it is, it's still the star, it's still the tower. Okay? 3, 4, 5 on the timer. I'm gonna sit this way. Anyway, you like my little heart tattoo? Can't see it super well, I bet. It's like a little splatter, and in the middle there's a little heart. It's adorable. Anyway. Oh, excuse me. With the 9 of Wands and the Hermit card, yeah. You're moving into the space of having to actually really pour into yourself the way other people... the way that you poured into other people with the Empress and the Emperor. 420 on a timer. It's not even like... Okay. Divine union outside of yourself might be coming, but this is like you're finally finding divine union within yourself. Yeah. Justice and the 6 of Cups underneath the Emperor and the Empress. You feel like home. You're making it so that no matter where you go, you always feel like you're home because you're with yourself. You're getting to that point of, like, coming into yourself and loving yourself and accepting yourself. And it's wonderful and it's beautiful. And I love that. That's absolutely fantastic. Oh my God. Yeah. We have the Queen of Cups with the Hermit card. You are in your emotional empowerment era. I'm seeing that scene from Barbie, like the Barbie movie where the girl is like, I have no problem expressing my feelings and thinking logically. I'm like, absolutely, that is you. That is you right now. That is you right now. See, like, you're getting to that point where you are able to think absolutely logically about things. Instead of holding off until the very end, you are thinking logically about the things now. You're not allowing passes for people the way that you used to. You're being extra discerning with everything that you do now. That's lovely. That's wonderful. And we have the moon and the sun out here. Like, the end of the cycle is coming. And it's coming fast, is what I'm hearing. Yeah. The end of feeling like lack. The end of feeling like nobody or nothing can connect with you properly. The end of, like, this feeling of just loneliness. Utter loneliness is what I heard. That's really sad. Yeah, it's been a long journey. 10 of Wands. Like, there's so many things that you have had to carry to get to this point. So many things that you've had to learn to get to this point. So many battles you had to lose to get to this point. Just so you could really win in the end. Just so you could really win in the end. Don't mind this little cowlick thing I have going on over here. I don't know who she is. I'm gonna take a shower today, so she'll go away. But, like, it's just crazy. It's crazy because you had to work so hard to get to this point, and, like, it feels like this feels really sad to say, but it doesn't feel like you really have a lot of support surrounding you in that. People don't know how to support you. I'm sorry. 8 of Wands, King of Cups, 9 of Cups. Yeah. You've had to do a lot to protect yourself, to protect your peace, to protect your serenity, to protect your dreams. Yeah, look at the 9 of Cups and the Page of Wands. It's like, it's almost like the same. You're in this energy of creation. You're in this energy of, like, wish fulfillment, actually, really and truly. And the way your wish is coming true is through action. King of Cups. Yeah, you have some divine emotional discernment. You know what isn't good for you. Like, you have been rejecting offers from devils left and right. It's actually kind of funny. It's actually kind of funny because they keep trying to worm in. They're trying to worm their way in. The thing is, a lot of people don't even recognize that they are in devil energy, or the way they treat you is devil energy, because they don't have that discernment. They haven't had to go on the lessons. They haven't had to go through the cycles that you have. And that's not to say that they won't, and that's not to say that you are more evolved than they are. That's just to say how much you've learned in your life, and how little they've learned about themselves. So hopefully this will give them more of an opportunity in their life to learn more about themselves, so that they can understand when an action or behavior that's coming from them is actually coming from them, or if it's coming from devil energy. 4 of Cups in reverse. Yeah, because you can find the blessing in it. You can find the blessing in it. Being able to be like, wow, I can't believe I said no to that. I said no. Oh my God. Maybe that's a big thing for you. Maybe you haven't been able to say no before. Maybe that's, like, a tough one for you. Maybe setting boundaries is a hard one for you, and you've been setting boundaries. Maybe every single time the devil comes in with these offers, you're like, oh my God, I rejected an offer. 858 on the timer. I said no to an offer. I said no to this thing. I chose something different. Oh my God. Look at that. Look at how far I've come. I'm not just taking anything anymore. That's beautiful. 909 on the timer. The Chariot, 9 of Swords in reverse, and the 4 of Wands. Yeah, holy shit. You are moving forward in this absolute beautiful energy, man. Which did you want that, Spirit? Excuse me. Confirmation burp. We have the Ace of Wands and the 7 of Pentacles. You worked really, really, really hard to get to this point. 3 of Swords in the reverse. You've had to do so much. You've had to cut through your own wounds. You've had to dig through your own cuts. You've had to dig through your own, like, the stabs that that were plunged into your back, you had to dig through those to be able to dig out the roots, to be able to say, oh my, like, to make sure that it was all clean, that all the things that happened, you had to pull the knife out yourself, and you had to make sure you did it in a way that wouldn't cause you further harm. And you made sure that you did it, like, you did it in a way that brought you closer into union with yourself, with the Four of Wands. This is so beautiful, collective. You're such a beautiful collective. Yeah, okay, Spirit. Yeah. You got options. You have hella options, y'all. You got hella options. Like, if you feel like you don't have a lot of choices in life, you have freed yourself from so many things that, like, literally, the Spirit is saying the world is your oyster. Presence, self-awareness with time. Literally, presence and self-awareness with time. You've had to sit with yourself for so long. Yeah, roots, healthy patterns, and early growth in the reverse. You've had to go and make sure that the soil that you were embedding yourself in wasn't poisonous. You had to go and make sure that where you were sitting, that where you were growing was good for you, and, like, all the roots that were causing you pain, you had to dig those up. And other people that are trying to set roots in you right now, they're not ready, because they're about to be uprooted. They're about to be uprooted like crazy. Like, they're about to be yanked out. They're about to be pulled out. I was about to say yoked out, so maybe you might be, like, working on your physical physique right now. Keep doing that. I'm hearing that's really good for you. Keep doing that. That might, like, that's really empowering you and encouraging you to move forward. It's actually moving energy in a way that is so, like, it's so big because you're changing yourself on a physical level, and the physical level is, like, I personally think that the physical level is the last step, 11:55 on the timer, and energetic is the first step. Everything is energy first, everything is action last. Like, you were not birthed into this world or created into this world just on a physical level. It was a connection that two people felt with each other on an energetic level first, and then it was an emotional connection that two people felt with each other, and then it was a mental connection, maybe, if you have people that were married and decided to have you as children, like, have you as a child, and then they connected on a physical level. That's literally the cycle. That's how it goes. Carnelian energy, leadership and creativity, trunk with stability, loyalty, and reliability in the reverse. People were not reliable to you. You were a great leader for them, but they didn't want to listen to you. They didn't want to connect with that. They didn't. Oak tree, power, courage, and strength. Yeah. Leaves in the reverse with renewal, revival, and progress. You are not going to pour into this anymore. You are not going to pour into this trunk anymore. You cut that off. You said no more. I'm tired. I'm bored. I'm bored. Nothing is worse for the soul than boredom. Nothing is worse for the soul than boredom, honestly. Yeah. And, like, you started reviving your presence with yourself and being aware of yourself and actually getting to know yourself and understand what you like and what you don't like, and understand what you do accept and what you don't accept. Yeah. Reviving integration, subtlety, and thoroughness. Reintegrating all these beautiful aspects of yourself. Wonderful. One more. Okay, Spirit wants me to shuffle like this one more time. Yeah, man. And because of the integration that you've been making within yourself, it's been reigniting the clarity within yourself. It's been reconnecting yourself to the fact that, like, the way that you were sitting in the energy before, the way you were ruminating before, was deadly to you. It was causing you harm. It was causing you physical health problems. Physical health problems, maybe it has. If you've been dealing with physical health problems, go out and do more physical activity if you're able. Though I am not a doctor, so only take that if that resonates. I am not a medical professional. Go to a doctor if you need that. Snow in the reverse with rest and contemplation. Yeah. These aren't things that you have to contemplate anymore. These aren't things that you have to think about anymore. Like, yeah, you do need to keep a balance of rest, and you need to keep a good balance of, like, supporting yourself and taking care of yourself. But you don't need to be, like, contemplating what to do. You already know what you want to do. You already know where you want to go. You already know what you want to achieve. You're not waiting around for anybody. Yeah. Which way did you want that, Spirit? Ooh, excuse me. I'm sorry, which way did you want that? Oop. Winter, an ending, recharging, reflection. And, hold on. I swear you said you wanted it reversed. Hold on. Wait, which way did you want that? Okay, yeah. Jeez, it literally falls reversed 2 times, but, like, the first time I just doubted it for some reason. Maybe you doubt your actions, or maybe you've been really struggling with, like, acknowledging the decisions that you've made has made you the person that you are now, and the person you are now is someone that you're actually falling in love with. And it's like, there's no, like, all of this old energy, this snow, like, you're out of this winter era. You're moving into your spring era. You're moving with the, which way do you want that? You're moving with the energy of the world. Healing energy, happiness, comfort, and joy in the reverse. Yeah. That's summer energy. You're not, like, you are not moving forward with that either. You're moving forward with discernment. You're moving forward with, strength. You're moving forward with intention. Yeah. Transformation, joy, beauty, and transience with the butterfly. That's what you're moving with. That is what you're moving with. All right? And I think I love how it was joy on both of these cards. Like, you can have joy in this time too. Like, that's not exclusive. And it's just different because you're not in a place of, how do you say, you're not in a place of celebration. You're currently building the area for celebration. You're currently building the things to celebrate, you know? Of course, this doesn't stop you from celebrating yourself, right? Salt, protection, and banishing negativity. Yeah, you need to really up that protection energy. Up that protection energy. Just because. You can never have enough protection, honestly. Summer, expansion and growth. Yeah. Moving into that energy, man. Moving into that energy. Positivity and change with the moss agate. You're moving into a wonderful phase of your life, man. Tranquility, kindness, and self-care with lavender, too. You're moving into a beautiful phase of life. One where you are not going to be constantly wondering if what you are doing is what's right for you, because you're not concerned about what other people think is right for you anymore. Beautiful. What's up, Spirit? What else? What else, Spirit? Conclusions are within reach. It's time to release negativity. And, a time to give rather than take in the reverse. A time to receive. Now is not the time to worry about others. Heike. You've done that enough. You've done that enough, I feel. Confidence is key to your success. Beautiful. Honestly, like, that's not to say throw everybody else out the window, obviously. Obviously, we know that, all right? It's still reciprocity, balance, give and take. Which way do you want that, Spirit? Cool. Ooh, a new start is coming in the reverse. You're already in the new start. Luck is on your side. Full moon in Sagittarius. New moon in Sagittarius. Bunch of new moon energy. New moon, new moon, new moon. I see 4 new moon cards out here. Like, change is inevitable, but you're already moving with the flow of that energy. You're not worried about change because you know that you have yourself. You are relying on yourself. You know that you are going to be the constant throughout your entire life. So if anything is supposed to feel like home, it's going to be you. If anything is supposed to feel like stable and true love, it's going to be you. You are going to feel like stability. You are going to feel like true love. The end of a tough cycle approaches. Have faith in your dreams in the reverse. Yeah, that's the end of the cycle. You're not worried about, like, it's not even a situation of worrying about whether or not things are going to work out for you. You just know that they have to. They have to. Because on an energetic level, you've already made it work out for so many other people where it was never supposed to work out. So Spirit's only going to give it back to you. 10-fold, 20-fold, 30-fold. Fuck. Step out of your comfort zone. Into your North Node. Focus on your North Node energy. Focus on honing in on your North Node. I've been doing that too a lot lately. I've been really focusing on rest, on making sure that I'm taking care of myself, that I'm feeling comfortable, making sure that I feel glamorous, making sure that I feel, I don't want to say materialistic because it's not materialistic, but feeling just like dolled up, you know what I mean? Times 10 energy, which would you want that? Oh, okay. You're very close to achieving your goal, times 10. Times 10. You're literally there. The energy is gaining momentum. Can't make this shit up. You're literally there. You are there. You don't need to do anything else. You've done it. Everything that you think you need to do, it's already done. It is already done. You have met Spirit more than halfway. You met Spirit 3/4 of the way. And you're continuing to move forward and trying to understand and know Spirit. You're still moving forward and trying to understand and know what your life path really is. We don't have milk.
Really?
Yeah. Remember I told you I made matcha the other day, but we didn't have milk. And so it was really gross. Yeah, I'm sorry, bud. Yeah, 7 of Cups with the Page of Cups in the reverse and the 10 of Swords upright. Yeah, you've been through it. Every single choice that you made put you in a position where you were not supposed to make it. You were not supposed to move forward. You were not supposed to ascend, and yet you chose that every time. You were like, this is really painful and this really fucking sucks, but I'm going to trust in my protection. I'm going to trust that this is all for my benefit. I'm going to trust that this is all for the best of me, that this is all what's going to be good for me. I'm going to trust that in the end, Spirit knows best. Maybe you made a lot of brash decisions. Maybe that's how you used to move. You would just do things without even thinking about them. And then you wouldn't do anything to protect yourself once people brought it up and brought attacks onto you. But you grew and you changed a lot. Like I said, yeah, with the wheel upright in the 10 of Swords. Yeah, and we have the star here. You literally found the opportunity in it to grow and become better. And that literally just made the universe, the divine, favor you. Because what I'm hearing right now is like you might have come from a very naive place in the first place. That growth, that behavior, moving like that is a very naive thing to do. And yet you chose, instead of to attack yourself or tear yourself down or attack others and tear other people down for it, you decided to dissect. You decided to discern, to analyze, to learn. And it's because of that the divine respects you. The divine respects you. And is helping you move forward with the Chariot. Which way did you want that, Spirit? Yeah, death and rebirth upright. You've changed. 23 on the timer. You have changed so much. You are nothing like the person you were when you started. You are nothing like the person you were when you started. Nothing. Nothing like the person you were when you started. And that's not to say that the person you were when you started was bad. It's just to say that the person you were when you started was kind of ignorant. All right, and I don't mean that in the sense of ignorant the way that people are choosing to be ignorant, willfully ignorant, but ignorant in the way where you just didn't know better. You genuinely just didn't know better. Page of Swords in the reverse. You didn't realize the effect that your words had. You didn't realize the effect that your actions had, that your thoughts, that your feelings really had. The star in reverse, and it put you in this space where you were wondering if you were just the problem of your life. Where it left you wondering if you were the issue, you were the issue, you were the issue. With the World card, but that cycle is over. That cycle is completed. Strength. You weren't the problem. Maybe you did problematic things, but the difference between you and other people that do problematic things is that you learned from it. And you didn't willfully choose to keep doing it. You willfully chose to be different. The action that you took made you feel icky. And you didn't hold on to that. You decided that you didn't want to keep feeling icky. You wanted to stop that. Which way did you want that, Spirit? Cool. Yeah, you decided that you wanted to feel good in your own skin. You decided that you wanted to have fun. That you wanted to feel the creative flow. You didn't want to be in the Five of Swords cage. You didn't want to be in this position where you were constantly going through the cycle of, like, judging yourself. Of constantly judging who you were. With the Empress in reverse, constantly questioning whether or not you were even valid or capable in the ways that you needed to be in order to get to where you wanted to go, wish fulfillment wise. But you freed yourself from that. You stopped judging yourself. You started seeing things from such a high perspective that you don't even see the point in judgment anymore. You genuinely just don't see the point in judgment anymore. You know? Like, I don't mean that in the way where it's like, oh, judgment is pointless. No. I mean that in the way of, like, judgment, it should only be in the hands of the divine. 2552. Or in the hands of those that are divine enough or so far down their divine journey that they can clock and recognize when it's necessary. But you're not one of those people. You're not down that kind of path. You're not down that you're not that far down. You don't know better than the divine does, and you always trust that above all else. You know what's better for you, but these situations that you went through and the things that you experienced before, you probably wouldn't have allowed yourself to go through them if you knew what would happen to you. But if you didn't go through them in the first place, if you didn't go through them to get to this place, then how would you have gotten here anyway? It was necessary. It needed to happen. Because without it, I'm sorry guys, I'm so sorry. Because without it, you wouldn't have become who you are today. You wouldn't be who you are today at all. And who you are today is who you're falling in love with. It's who you have fallen in love with. Any final messages, Spirit? Which way do you want that? I'm just hearing no. Okay, I'll take it back. Okay, what's up with that? What's up with that? Six of Cups. You're aligning. You're aligning. Just trust that. You're aligning. You are aligning. You're aligning with what is right for you. You're aligning with what's good for you. 27 on the timer. You're aligning with community that's actually going to be true to you. Which way do you want that, Spirit? Yeah. You're able to clock and recognize when with the Three of Cups in reverse, when people are not offering you the community that you want. You're able to feel it now. Your intuition is so sharp that you can sense the energy around you. Queen of Cups, you can sense the energy, the intention, the emotional intention of other people towards you. Page of Pentacles upright. Yeah. You have your own rules, your own regulations, things that other people have no choice but to follow, because if they don't, they're not just going against you. They're not just going against you, okay? They're going up against all of the freaking people, divine beings, angels, ancient ancestors, the universe, your spirit guides, your higher self. They're going up against all that. They're going up against all that. That doesn't even mention the deities you might worship. Or the deities that just like you. We have the Ace of Swords. Yeah, with the Three of Wands. Like, it's not just you. They have no choice. They have no choice. If they get to see the map or not, they don't get to know. They don't get to know. Only you get to know. Only you get to decide who gets to really see what the plan is. Only you get to decide who really gets to be a part of it all. These other people don't get that. They don't have that privilege. Ten of Pentacles in the reverse, King of Swords upright, the Two of Wands in reverse. Yeah. They couldn't make their decision. They couldn't choose. They couldn't figure it out. And these people that try, they're not going to be able to, because they can't even begin to understand. They can't even begin to understand, because you came from a place of integrity. They came from a place of just wanting to get immediate results. They just wanted to get immediate results, immediate benefits. They didn't want to process. They wanted to run from what they were feeling. They wanted to run from what they were experiencing. They didn't want to acknowledge themselves for who they really were, but you did. King of Pentacles in reverse, and that's why it's always going to put them in a broke energy. That's why it's always going to put them in a position where they don't get as much as you do, because you are willing to get, you don't let any opportunity go to waste. Justice with the Two of Cups. You are getting the proper fucking connections to be able to move forward and create what you want to create now. Because Spirit sees that you're finally discerning who does deserve and who does not deserve to be in your energy. Who does deserve and does not deserve to be around you. Yeah, with the Five of Wands in reverse, you're sick and tired of fighting. If people bring that kind of energy towards you, it's over. It's over. If people try to bring that to you, it's done. 30-30 on the timer. Two of Pentacles, that's your way of keeping balance. Yeah, Empress falling on the floor times 10 energy. You have a big, juicy heart. You have a big, juicy heart. And you're not about to sit here and waste it on people that cannot even show even an ounce of grace towards you. Alright? Not to mention themselves. Yeah, Ace of Cups in the reverse. Like, they don't have good offers. No, just no. That's the card that fell out earlier, and I just kept hearing no, 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 no. That's what's up. That's what's up. Just no. I don't want it. I don't want your offer. I don't want your connection. I don't want what you're giving me, because I feel so much more towards myself than you ever will. And that's not even in the sense of like Narcissus, where you drown trying to make out with yourself in a pool of water. But it is in the sense of looking at yourself and being able to acknowledge and say, God damn, I really kind of am the shit, aren't I? I really kind of am, aren't I? I really am kind of like amazing, aren't I? Because there is not a single average Joe out there that could even begin to reach where I'm at. Well, that's not true. They always can. It just takes time. But people aren't willing to spend that. Like I said earlier, with the Eight of Cups in reverse, they want immediate results. They want immediate satisfaction. They're not willing to do the work. Emperor in reverse. They're not willing to put in that elbow grease into themselves with the Three of Pentacles. They're not willing to actually build themselves from the ground up by actually looking at who they are and asking themselves with every single thing that they're embarrassed or scared of when it comes to self, and saying, what about this embarrasses me? What about this scares me? And in what way can I learn to love and embrace this? Or is this even a part of me? Is this a part of me because I chose for it to be a part of me, or because somebody else chose for it to be part of me? 32 on the timer. 32 is my favorite number. I love 32. That's just a good number. I don't know why. I love 32. Eight of Cups. Yeah. They don't want to listen to the inner calling. You did. That's why you're here. That's why you get to be here. That's why you get to have all of this stuff. That's why you get to say all these things. Because you have authority. Not because you are full of yourself. Because you have authority, Queen of Wands. Because you have authority. You have so much authority. I feel like I just got crowned. That was so weird. I feel like there was just something about my crown energy that was really weird. Because you have authority. You have the power. Yeah. You're able to turn you're able to turn people that have absolutely nothing into people that can at least get by, you know? And the thing is, that's not even it anymore. You're turning into this, it's turning into this position where you were able to bring so much to other people, right? And like I said before, instead of people having nothing, you're helping them to get by. That's because that's all they could actually allow for themselves. Right? That's all that they were that's all they could reciprocate. That's all that they could receive, because that is all that they thought they were worthy of. You bring true abundance. Six of Swords, and you left it. You left it behind because you're choosing to be a lot more discerning with your energy and who can and cannot have a slice of you, who can and cannot have a piece of you, who can and cannot have a piece of your energy, a piece of your time, a piece of your effort. Alright? You are too divine to be just grabbing at any opportunities now. You're too divine to just be accepting any kind of friendship. You're too divine to be accepting just any kind of love offer. You have so much more to live for than those things. And that isn't to say that none of those things are worthy of you, but it is to say that most of those things are not worthy of you. You know? You're worthy of those things. Most of those things, not worthy of you. It's like, you're worthy of love, but not every single person out there is worthy of your love. And that isn't to say they're not worth a lot. That isn't to say that they don't have worth themselves. But that just speaks to the depth and the strength of what you do have to offer to people. The depth and the integrity of what you have to offer to people. You don't care how long it takes to build things. You have time. You're not worried about things slipping you by because you trust that everything that is meant for you will be for you. Not everybody is like that. Not everybody is like that. Well, I love you, angels. Goodbye.